Zeebzob podcast.
You have tuned in to the Zeebzob podcast, episode 12, brought to you by Goat Boy Products, makers of high-quality tools, wheels, and axles. This week's special guests, Mr. B and Rocket Car. And now, here's your host, Zeebzob. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Zeebzob podcast. In the studio with me today, I have Mr. B. Hello, Steve.
Hello, thanks.
And you bet. I also have Rocket Car, Brian.
Hello.
All right, guys, so we just had a little test session. How are your cars today?
Not very good.
No? What's going on?
Oh, I re-prepped them and probably didn't do a decent job, and they're a little slow.
Gotcha.
But they'll come around.
And Brian, how about yourself?
Pretty decent. My lava car was kind of bad at the last race, real bad.
Yeah.
And can't get the kinks out of that one, so I built a new one and stuff. Got a new one. Haven't quite come up with the name yet for that one, but a lot faster.
Yeah, and that one's real similar to the lava car, right?
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, your lava car is that one you got in your avatar, ladder style with the red covering.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, black fenders. This one's almost built exactly pretty much the same, just a little bit different color.
No black on it.
No black.
No black.
No
Yeah.
black.
So let's focus a little bit on Brian because his time is a little short with us today.
Well, we can focus on that the next time.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're going to come back. So
I only got 10 minutes. We got to make this quick.
10 minutes. So, all right, tell us a little about yourself. You are a woodworker by trade.
Yes.
How'd you get into that?
My dad is actually an upholster.
Is he old tuck and roll or what?
Well, no. But he used to do wood refinishing years and years ago. But as I became of age and stuff, I became interested in the woodworking side, mostly in finishing carpentry and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But then decided, hey, that's only kind of more of a seasonal sort of thing when they build in houses and everything. So I decided to basically start my own business and just strictly concentrate on woodworking. So
How long have you been doing that?
I started Abracadabra in '99, so it's been about 16 years now. So
Excellent.
I've been doing it myself. So
Yeah. So if anybody has seen Brian's work, I mean, you really are quite the craftsman with these little cars. You look at my hack jobs, and that was one of the things I mentioned before too. That when I first started sending cars in, I was kind of like, people are going to see this car and like, who's the hack here? But your cars are definitely not that. Yeah, my cars are real hacky, but your cars are really nice. And you said you spent like 10 hours on the fenders on this one, 20 on the last car.
yeah, that lava car took me like forever. It was about 20 hours. I was just putzing with this thing. I had noticed that Lightning Boy and stuff had done a car similar to this, and I'm like, oh, but his isn't see-through. I gotta make it see-through so I look real nice,
And you do lacquer. You do lacquer on it too.
Oh yeah, yep. I'm able to do a spray finish, just like Chief out there. Pretty much same, automotive guns that Chief uses, that sort of thing. So
That's cool. Yeah, speaking of Chief, Mario was saying that he's going back full time into the military.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
At his age, I mean, usually it's like retirement by that time, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I got a buddy who was in the Marines, and he's actually just retiring now.
Really?
Yeah, he's been 20 years in the Marines as actually a sniper. So, yeah, that's
Really?
yeah, he's actually probably the second most famous sniper I know. So,
That's funny. All right. So, you've got how many cars here today? Did you test?
I tested lava. I still having problems with that one. That one's just not drilled correctly, and I just can't get the weight to where I need it to be. So it's just constantly like 200ths behind everybody. So
yeah. And what are you sending in to John's next week? Anything?
John's will be probably sending in the new car that I haven't quite come up with a name yet. Right. So
just that one.
Yeah, probably that one. I like to try to get another street rod ready for nationals, and maybe an unlimited car if that all works out. So,
gotcha.
For nationals.
Yeah, for nationals. Yeah.
And I'm taking your cars to nationals, right? Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, if you can take them to nationals. I'm assuming we'll have a test and tune here, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so speaking of nationals, I've got a bombshell to drop on y'all.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, we heard, okay, so first thing we heard was that JBD said he's not going to nationals anymore because they're not allowing testing on Thursday.
Ooh.
Personally, I think that's kind of a puss move. I do. I mean, that's a kind of a dumb reason for it. Second bombshell, even bigger.
Oh.
Ian is not going to the nationals. Yeah, look at the eyes. Look at
no
the eyes.
way.
I know.
What the heck?
He texted me this week. He said he's not into it. He can't get motivated, and he thinks it's better if he doesn't go.
Wow.
It kind of screws me because that was
that's your ride.
Yeah, we're going together. We're in a room together. So Ian has violated me.
Oh.
So here's what I want. Everybody out there listening, as soon as you hear this, get an email to goatboyracing@hotmail.com and CC zeebzob@gmail.com. So again, goatboyracing@hotmail and zeebzob@gmail. Send emails. Let them know, hey, we want you at the Nationals. Don't give us this puss crap about not getting motivated.
I was going to say.
Yeah, even if he doesn't race, just go for the camaraderie.
Yeah.
So
the only reason I'm not going is because that's literally my anniversary day, and my wife. I just got back from Vegas for my 40th, and stuff. So she's like, "You're not going to nationals this year." So
you believe this guy?
Yeah.
Letting his wife tell him what to do?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I've got a niece that's getting married that day, so I'm going to be an usher.
Well, Well, she may only have 2 or 3 other wedding days in her life. So
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hope not.
But yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that. I mean, and I told my wife, she says, "Oh, good, then you can be around here." I'm like, "Whoa, I still plan to go,
Yeah.
But it's gonna be
E3.
It could. It's definitely not gonna be as fun because I won't. Hey, I can turn the camera on myself at the top every hour, and that would be pretty dull.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
right.
Yes.
You do
I do the broadcast on the trip. Yeah, so I'm a little bummed about that. So let's all gather together and send Ian some emails and just flood his inbox. That's what I want to see. So, but there have been some.
I have his cell phone number, so if I could figure out how to repeat a message every 30 seconds.
I have an app called SMS Bomb, and I can send a message as many times as I want. I type it out once, pick the recipient, say I want to send it 50 times, and I can set the time in between. Like if I want a 10-second delay or no delay, I hit the thing and your phone just blows up. It's kind of a dick thing to do because people are like, "What? All right, stop already." But when I'm texting someone and they don't respond, like my son, I'll SMS bomb him, and then he's like, "All right, fine, Dad, I got it." But yeah, so anyways, there are some interesting things going on the boards these last couple of days, starting with Vitamin K. That even got Mr. B riled up.
Well, I wasn't gonna post anything about that at all, and Andy was kind enough to mention my name in there because I read a lot of the posts on there. And so I was reading the whole thing through there, and there was a comment in there. I'm not sure if I have this exactly right, but there was a comment about buying, we'll say, Derby Dad for hire parts somehow dampens his ability or whatever to have fun and build a car in his basement. And, that just kind of irritated me a little bit, You see guys buying good parts from all of the different vendors, and they're setting new track records and new body shapes and everything like that. And I just found that just irritated me for some reason.
So effectively, you're blaming me for
Yes.
getting riled up and posting. That's fine. I can take the blame.
Although I did one yesterday though that said, "Oh, I just had enough of this."
Oh yeah, as the derby turns.
As the derby
yeah.
turns.
As the
and-
derby turns.
Yeah. Like
So-
sands through the hourglass.
So I said I'm not going on the boards for a while, and I haven't since.
Oh, really?
Late
So
yesterday.
did you see all the new stuff with Sporty?
I have not. I have not.
Ooh, yeah.
I have
Sporty came out of the woodwork and joined my board. And
I'm
I don't
not-
even know who Sporty is.
he's-
He was around before I came around.
so Sporty was a guy. He's real big on Derby talk. All right, and
Okay.
nice guy. He's Mario knows him well. Mario says that the guy does more with less than anybody he knows. I mean, as far as like, not having the equipment or a tuning table and this and that. And he can do stuff, but for whatever reason, I guess I don't know the whole backstory why he's so hated on like the league boards. But he is. People will drag his name through the mud first chance they get. But the interesting thing today is he said how he hates bullies and all the bullying that's been going on, and then proceeded to call John an ass and kind of ripped into him. I'm like, well, that's a little bullyish there in itself, but well, it is what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things because Vitamin K mentioned his bent axle technique, which he just got jumped on, and I understand that on John's side of the board, because he wants to give people the best techniques. But the thing is, Vitamin K just fought it tooth and nail, which maybe he should have let it go earlier.
They're like two pit dogs.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
have pit bulls that have a piece of meat and just won't.
And I don't know if this Vitamin K has been racing for a while. I'm not real
I
clear.
really don't know. Yeah,
It doesn't seem like if he's bending axles,
I
obviously. but-
recognize the name, but I don't know if I've seen any of his cars. And I don't know if he does race. From the posts I read, everybody's indicating that he doesn't race, but
Okay.
whatever. But then there were some interesting things that came out too. One guy made a comment after this is all going on. He made a comment how this reminds him of the old days with less intelligent people like Butterhole and Murph. Okay, first of all, if you really don't know who Butterhole is, maybe you're the moron. And second of all, to call Murph not intelligent, that guy's pretty smart. I mean, you may not agree with him, you may not like him, but to say that he's not intelligent is probably the stupidest thing he could have said. That one kind of ticked me off to hear it. I mean, it's not like I'm a big Murph fan or anything. Don't get me wrong. I don't really even know him, but I do know the guy is smart, and that was kind of stupid. But
from what I've heard, he came up with a lot of fast stuff in Pinewood Derby.
yeah,
In the
I mean,
early days? Okay.
Yeah,
I
in the
guess
early days.
You can
But-
talk to Mario more about that. Mario knows him, but everybody that I know of that's talked to him, because apparently he's like a chemical engineer, and Mario says he's like some 6th-degree judo black belt mind trick guy. I don't know, but I guess
wanna
he's
mess with
really smart and everything. But and he, maybe he's one of these guys that are really smart and their personality pays the price. That could be. But yeah, I just kind of found that comment pretty stupid to me. But that's just my take on it. Anyway,
I guess I'm gonna have to do some reading.
yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, it definitely keeps your interest. People are very passionate about it. But in the end, it's kind of interesting because Mood Swing got on there and he told this great story about a guy named Doc Job. And I'd known this story before I'd heard it. Doc Job was a guy who, big physics professor or whatever. He did all this testing with his own, physics principles and said that he would basically wipe the floor with any of these league racers because they're, pretty much beneath him intelligent-wise. So he showed up at one of the national events and came in dead last and then kind of snuck out the side door and was never heard from again, So that's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, these guys are just pounded on Vitamin K. But like I said, then John and Mood both came out and said, well, you know what? Especially John, he said, who am I to tell you what... if it works for you, great. I don't want to stop you from testing. If you can make it work, great. But John, through all his research, knows what's
works and what
faster.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my take on the bent axles. I mean, in theory, it should be able to be as fast as a straight axle car. All you got to do is get those
Tinker with it.
get the angles right. But the thing is, if you got to pull it apart and redo it, and then retune that thing every time. What a pain in the ass.
I have a hard enough time with just that one axle,
one axle,
and getting my gaps and getting all that stuff right. I mean, now you're talking three and then trying to get the ratio. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be a nightmare.
So what is this? Somebody mentioned too in there about some kind of counterweight system or something to.
Yeah, it's a guy on Derby Talk named Stan Pope. He's an older guy that he's a pretty smart guy too, but he's got all these equations and shit for all this kind of stuff, way beyond anything that I would have any interest of reading for more than 2 minutes because it would put me to sleep. But he's got some kind of counterweight system to tune these axles in, or I don't know. I've never used it. I'm not that interested in it. But here's the thing. I'm not that interested in it until somebody wins with it. Because this is a monkey see, monkey do hobby. If Vitamin K would win with that, you'd see so many about faces. Oh, yeah, this is the way to go now. But I don't think that'll happen. So that's just my take on it. But yeah, you've got some good reading to do because it was very,
there's
very
a lot of back and forth there. So a lot.
Yeah.
I know that irritated me a little bit too. I go, oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah,
usually there's not that much kind of fighting on a board. I mean, everybody kind of keeps their peace. You know what I'm saying?
It was interesting because remember Don Knott? He was here a few weeks ago in my race, Knotty Racing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he jumped on because I made a little comment, said, maybe at some point you should have pulled the reins back a little bit because all you're going to do is piss people off. And he quoted that part. He's like, when I first came on the boards, it was not a very warm welcome, because he saw a lot of fighting. And I mean, on my board, which we're 50 members strong now, by the way.
Excellent.
By the way, no new Twitter followers. Yeah, no bell this week. What was I saying? But
you're talking about Don coming up.
Yeah. Don said that it wasn't the warmest of welcomes, and luckily he hung around and went to the Nationals in Milwaukee and met everybody and took it from there. But he's a really smart guy too, and he's for the little league racing he does, he's actually really fast. But apparently his pack and council or whatever their council races is like 4 times the size of Mid-America. He says it goes over 2 days. There's like 2,000 racers. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
And once again, pay no attention to the barking wiener dog in the background. So, all right, let's get a quick background on you. You're running out of time, so quick. Let's talk about how you got into the sport. Give us a little story, and then you can take off if you want.
This is a long story.
You want to save it for next time?
Yeah, let's save it because this is a long story, buddy.
Oh, boy. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before you take off?
No, I think we can pretty much button it up the next time.
Okay.
Here. I should be good. So.
All right. Well, if you got to go, because you said you got to go where your in-laws or something?
Yeah, I got to go to my mother-in-law's. My kids are in soccer, and I have like 8 games in one weekend going, so my time is like really short here.
Gotcha.
Luckily, it takes me about an hour to get to the Zeebzob speed shop here. So
yeah, where are you going for, like dinner or something tonight, or what's
going for dinner? I got. Oh God, I don't know. Usually, my mother-in-law is quite the cook, so
that's good.
I like to hit.
Did you fill up on pizza out there?
No, I didn't have one bite of pizza.
What?
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh,
so.
my goodness. Yeah,
it was good pizza, too.
Well, it's because I made it. But, E3 brought the pizza. I cooked it. I'm a little anal about that. But tell you, it's worth the effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the last, 3 minutes?
That's good stuff. So, all right. If you got to take off, I'll go ahead and switch your mic off, and we'll catch you later, Brian.
All right.
All right. Now, Mr. B's in the hot seat.
Yeah.
So, Mr. B, let's talk about you. How'd you get into this hobby?
E3.
E3, yeah, because you two work together.
Yes,
right,
we work together. I've known Todd for like 10 years now.
Okay, gotcha.
And he got me involved.
Okay, so he...
Actually, it was right around about 2013, the Nationals, just before the Nationals.
Gotcha.
He had known that I had rebuilt some old school Pinewood Derby cars. And he was saying that, I built this car with my son. We're going to go to the Nationals. It's like in New Berlin or wherever
right.
it was held. And he started talking to me about going. He says, you should go. And I was going, I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. I haven't raced Pinewood Derby since I was a little kid, like 30 years ago.
Sure.
And excuse me. And he just kept after me.
Yeah.
And so I finally, one day I was digging through some of the old cars I have, and I found this old plank style car.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of beat up. The paint was all scratched. It was
Because you collect them, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
old ones, and
Right.
then I try to rework some of them and resell some of them. But yeah, I rework some of them. And then so I found this old plank style car, and I just brought it in to work one day, and I asked Todd, I go, well, what do you think? And he goes, well, yeah. He says, there were weights glued in it already.
Mm-hmm.
They're like epoxied in, and he says it had possibilities. So, I still wasn't sure I wanted to do this
Right.
at all. So after thinking about it, and he kept on me, we sat down one day at his desk at lunchtime. We went on John's site, and he says, we'll go through everything you need. So we went on the site, and we looked wheels and axles and oil and everything you need to prep, and got all down to the bottom line. It was like $150, something like that.
Okay.
And I go, oh boy, I don't know. So then I said, okay, let's just do this. Let's see what happens. So I placed the order, got all the parts, got fenders. I started sanding on the car, get all the old paint off of it, glued fenders on it, spent a lot of time. Prepped the wheels, per John's video. And Todd helped me put it together, put the axles, the wheels, everything on it. We get all done, and it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's maroon. It's called Secondhand Smoke.
Okay.
And excuse me. And get all done, and we put it on the scale, and it's like overweight. It's like about 150 grams or something,
Okay.
if I remember right. So we looked at it, and you had invited me over here for the first time,
Right.
and I came over, and you actually helped me rework it. You put it on your machine, and you bored out or whatever, routed out some of the material.
Oh yeah, I remember that, to try to get it to weight. Yeah.
And we got it down to weight, and
And how does that car perform?
it is actually probably the best car I have.
That's because I helped you with it.
It could be.
See,
It
if you'd
could be.
have told me that was the slowest car you had, that's going to be the same answer. It's because I helped you with it.
No, it actually, I sent it to the final Man of the Mountain race in 2013. And at that race, you had the race in. So if you, you had the race in, and then you were like into a second tier of like 8 or 10 guys, and you had to race in that. And if you win, you get to go to the finals.
Gotcha.
Well, I raced in and got into that second tier, but I didn't make it past that. But the car was surprisingly fast. So I worked on it some more, and then in February of 2014, when they had the novice class, that car made the finals 4 times, and I ended up finishing second overall.
Oh, really? Do you remember who
Yes.
you lost to?
Flying Speedworks.
Flying Speed. Was he still around?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that name doesn't sound familiar right now.
I don't think so.
Huh.
I think Hurricane was in there too, and I think he finished like third.
Is that when he was first starting? Yeah, that guy.
Yes,
That guy's really
yes,
become fast. Yeah.
Yes. So
Huh. That's
that's
interesting.
kind of Todd dragged me into this.
Oh,
so.
good for Todd. That's
So-
awesome. What? Okay, so now you both work at Generac. He's an engineer. You're like a CAD designer. Is that
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm a. We both basically do the same thing. I
Okay.
work in the special applications department, so we take like a Generac builds engine generator sets to make the emergency electrical power.
Sure.
So in the group that I work in, we take a finished product and modify it. If they want like different batteries or different color enclosure on it, or make whatever modifications the customer needs.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And how long you been there?
I've been there 10 years.
Okay,
10
excellent.
years.
Yeah.
10 years.
And so, you were telling me a story one time of you're on your way to work. I love this story.
Yes.
I read this first on Facebook. I think you posted it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
laughing.
yeah,
I had to ask
yeah.
you about it.
I was driving to work one morning, and the road is it's called Capitol Drive, and it's probably about 6:30 in the morning. It was still dark out, not a lot of traffic, and it's early in the morning, and you're just like almost zoned out. But you're in the car. So, anyways, I'm driving along, and I come up to this main intersection. And the light turns yellow, and I put on my brakes, and I stop.
Like a good driver would.
Like a good driver would. And I'm just sitting there and I'm listening to the radio, and all of a sudden somebody's rapping on my driver's side window. And it's like, it just startled me. And I look over, and here's this guy out there, and he goes, "What the F is wrong with you? We could have made that yellow light, and now we have to sit here for like 3 minutes while it's
3 whole minutes is
while,
gonna, yeah.
while it until the light changes." And I didn't say a word at all. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, you were probably pretty shocked at that.
I was shocked. And he's going on about, "Oh, no, I'm going to be late, or I have to do this, or I can't do that." And while he's ranting and raving, then the light turns green. While he's still out there, I waved to him. Goodbye. Just waved to him. And then I hear "a-hole" really loud. So then I'm driving along and coming up to the next light, and then all of a sudden this guy goes all the way over to the right lane where it's like the breakdown lane where he would, and he zooms through the intersection, and he was gone. I've never seen him before. But it so startled me that I never expect at 6:30 in the morning some guy to be rapping on my window and getting on me because I stopped for a yellow light.
I probably would have crapped right there. What the, But
well, yeah, and I did put that on Facebook because that like really wrecked my day.
Yeah.
It's like, what did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. I just followed traffic.
Although I got to tell you, if I was you, instead of waving to him, I'd have been telling him he's number one,
Well, I don't like to do that because you never know what that guy is on the other side of the window.
That's true.
So
yeah, but that's pretty funny. So, all right, some other things that I read about you on Facebook. You're into yoga?
I am into yoga.
Okay.
I have very stiff hips. And if I sit for a long time or don't move or whatever, they get really sore or whatever. So I actually started a few years ago with a fitness person at the Y, and they got me into doing stretching.
Which Y do you go to?
Tri-County, Menominee Falls.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you live out that way, right?
Yeah,
Which is what, about a half hour from here or so, a little more. Okay. Yeah, I work out in Sussex, so that's not too far from there. But there's a Y right out here in Mukwonago.
I gotta take a drink of water here.
Oh, feel free. Isn't that delicious?
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah. So, anyways, my hips are real. They get real stiff. So this fitness person got me into stretching and everything, and from there they suggested, you should try yoga because that goes even beyond what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and I haven't had any real hip soreness or pain or anything at all. So I try to go at least, like once a week or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, when I was a kid.
But there's investments in that too. Just like just like Pinewood Derby. I had to buy a mat, and then I had to buy this to buy this strap for stretching and stuff. So, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a dentist who was into, it wasn't yoga, but it was, he started getting into like karate and martial arts.
Tai Chi?
Yeah, and he said that the biggest benefit he thought was the stretching.
Yes.
Big time. So I am like the least flexible person you'll meet.
Well, so I'm not very flexible either.
Yeah.
I mean, you see some of the people in this class.
They're like rubber.
Yes, exactly,
right. Exactly.
And, I every once in a while I'll make a comment, and the instructor will say, we're going to do this. And I go, yeah, right.
I used to be fairly flexible, but then I remember when I was like in 10th grade, and I think this is where my problems started. In gym class, we were doing like a stretching unit, and you were graded on like how far you could stretch.
Okay.
I think I overdid it.
Really?
Yeah. We had to stand on the end of a bleacher, and the bleacher on the front of it had like inch marks, and so you put your hand past your toe, however many inches you could, and then hold it there for a few seconds or whatever. And so, of course, we're really cranking on it, which you should never do.
Right.
And it's like when I stood up, I was really stiff after that.
Yes.
And it's like I could never touch my toes again after. I mean, I got my hand pretty far past my toes, and then it was like after that, because I got really stiff, and then I think I never touched my toes again in my life.
No.
Yeah. I wonder if I have a lawsuit on my hands.
Maybe.
It might be a little bit, a little too far gone, but how long ago was that? 20? How many years? But so, anyways, yeah, that's pretty cool. You do that.
Yeah, I try to go at least once a week. Usually Wednesday nights. That's a real good time for me. So
okay,
that's usually when I go.
Sure. And now, so you live in Menominee Falls. Do you work? Yeah. Do you work in Waukesha?
It's actually Genesee.
Genesee.
Depot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the one off of was it
Highway 59?
59? Yeah. Past the Big Chicken?
Pass right across the street from the Big Chicken.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so
The giant farm.
Yeah.
Giant chicken out front.
I'm so jealous of that thing. I want to go steal it and put it in my yard because I got all those chickens in the back. I wonder, yeah, if I could pull that one off. Hey, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's talk about the future for Mr. B. You're racing next weekend?
I am.
All right, how many cars?
Probably 2 basics, 1 eliminator, maybe a street pro.
Okay, gotcha.
Those are the 3 classes I've been racing for this series.
All right, and then nationals. What are you going to send there?
Probably basics.
Okay.
Probably maybe 1 or 2 there, depending upon which car works the best. Eliminator for sure. That's kind of I like that class. It's probably one of my favorite ones, and I'm hoping to have my Baron car going better.
Sure.
So I'm thinking at least 4, maybe 5 cars.
So now, so your niece's wedding is what, the Saturday?
Yep.
Okay. Same
day. So if I could get to Omaha and race and get back by, say, about 2 o'clock when they say I do, I'd probably be in good shape.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen. But you could go out there for Friday night. And I was wrong. In an earlier podcast, I said it was like a 10-hour drive. It's really more like a 7, maybe a 7.5-hour drive. But because they're racing a lot of classes Friday night. I think most of my classes are racing Friday night.
Okay.
So really, I mean, now that Ian's not going, hint, like, because everybody's going to send him emails, tell him to go. But, I could really take off Friday night and get home, really early Saturday morning. I don't think I'll do that. I'll probably still stay, through Saturday and then take off. We were going to stay all the way through Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Just because, it's not going to be quite the same.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to that, and I was really bummed to get that tech. He was supposed to be here today for the testing. That's why I had the whole testing thing set up. He sent me an email. Or a text to me.
Because he put on the board. He said that today would be a good day for him.
Yeah. Then he texted me. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday this week, and that's when he dropped that bomb on me. And I haven't told anybody yet because I wanted to save it for this podcast.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, I know. I've been holding on to that secret.
Are you going to text him and warn him before he listens to this?
No. He's going to be like, "What? Why am I getting all these?" But although he may hear it right away too. I think he subscribes to these podcasts. So like everybody out there should too. Go to Zeebzob.com.
I do on my cell phone. I don't know. I can't remember what the podcast app is I use. But
is it an Android?
No, it's an iPhone.
It's an iPhone. It's probably iTunes, and iTunes will let you.
No, it's not iTunes.
Oh, really?
I'll show it to you later.
Is it the Apple Podcast app? Because they've got a podcast app themselves.
It might be. Might be.
Because that's what I've got on my iPad. I get like the Joe Rogan and the Adam Carolla ones there, and the tech guy, Leo Laporte. That's another good one. So.
Okay. Well,
I'm really getting into these podcasts.
The Zeebzob's the only one I have on there. So
good man. No, but get in the podcasts. I mean, I really like it. The cool thing is you can download them and then play them later. Like if you got like an aux cable in your stereo in your car, you can just plug that in and stuff.
Right.
So.
I don't. Mine is too old.
Well, you can get some. You can get like an adapter for that. You can get they look like a cassette. You put the cassette in there and you plug.
Don't have a cassette either. I have a CD though. So what is that banging?
I don't know. It's my kids. Just
okay.
I hear these noises all the time in my house. I don't even pay attention. From the dog barking to the kids jumping. When they start really jumping, I mean, it sounds like the ceiling's going to come down here.
Yes.
And this is nothing.
No, this sounds like a shovel or something.
Yeah, no. When they start banging around because they start rustling.
Okay.
And then my older one starts throwing my younger one around and boom.
Okay.
It's
okay. Cool.
It gets pretty loud. I mean, sometimes you're like, something's going to come down.
Yep.
Luckily, nothing ever has. But
I drive an old Ford Ranger. It's 2002.
Okay.
It has a CD player in it, but no cassette player. So I can't do the cassette.
What you
it has no plug for like the new iPod, aux. So
what you can do is you can get this little thing that plugs into your phone and it like transmits on a weak radio signal, like 87.7. You can do something like that.
I don't know how well. Does that really work?
I had one of those ones. Now this was probably 10 years ago when that was kind of a new thing. I think I used it. I think I spent like $25 on it or something. I used it once and thought this is pure shit because you get a lot of crosstalk. If you drive anywhere, it's got a signal that's radio signal that's close to that. It like totally overrides you and stuff.
Wow. Well, I can just put it on my phone and put it on speakerphone and
or you put some headphones on.
Is that legal?
I do it all the time.
Okay, well, that doesn't mean it's illegal.
That's true, but I also play the drums when I drive too. So.
Oh.
But because
Better than playing the guitar?
yeah. Did you see that video that Jukes had?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, well, because the Jukes' site was like nobody was on it for a long time when their league was down, but they did post this one video once. They were driving down the road, Glenn and David, and they passed this guy driving an Alero playing a guitar.
Oh, cool.
And they're like, look at this guy. And they're like, and all of a sudden the guy sees him, puts the guitar away, So it was pretty funny.
Was he driving with his niece?
He must have been, because he's just strumming away on a guitar while he's driving. I was kind of impressed and horrified at the same time.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool.
All right. So let's talk about last race at APR. You did pretty well in some classes, didn't you?
Yeah, the basics class.
Basico.
Oh, excuse me, Basico, right?
Yeah.
I have a basic Basico car, basic Basico, whatever it is.
It's the same class, yeah.
Whatever it is. It's set on its first run, it set a track record, and on its last run, it set a track record.
Nice.
And on the other runs, times were all over the place.
Yeah.
So
that's right. You had me make the track record. Did you see it? I made the track record banner for you. Okay.
I did see it.
I didn't respond to you, but because I saw it this whole week, I had to start work at like 5 a.m. every day. So when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, I'm like totally deaf. I'll get to this.
Yeah.
And then I did it when I had some time later in the morning. And then I just never told you about it. I said, he'll find it.
Yeah. So I did find it. So it was pretty good.
Cool.
And then I also ran their version of Street Stock. I'm sorry, I don't remember the names. I'm so used.
That would be Pure Stock, probably.
Pure Stock, middle of the pack there.
Okay.
I did an eliminator. I ran my IMAM car.
The modified class.
The modified class. Sorry. I ran my IMAM car, AMAM, AYEMAAM car. It's got a straight axle in the rear and everything.
Oh, okay.
That was probably middle of the pack. So I was probably middle of the pack of everything. But that's okay. I had fun.
Yeah, but setting the track record had to be pretty exciting for you.
Well, yeah, I was able to watch most of the racing live, and somebody in the background said that my car was in the first run, and somebody said there could be a track record in the black lane, and my car was in the black lane, and it did set a track record.
Cool.
So,
I had problems trying to watch that race. I was home for a little bit of it, and on my iPad, I think I got it with no problem, but on my phone, I wasn't able to get it. I don't know why. Yeah,
I had it on my computer. I didn't try it on the phone.
I almost never use my computer anymore. It's
I've
ridiculous.
been using it less and less. So I've been saving my MasterCard points to try and get a pad, either an iPad or a Nook reader or one of those things. But I just have
get the iPad.
Okay, I'll get the iPad.
I mean, I got ever since I got an iPad, it's like I never use my laptops or my desktop anymore.
Right.
Except for work.
Here.
Yeah, for this I have to, but or when I got it hooked up to the track,
Mm-hmm.
But like just for if I want to look something up or whatever. Well, maybe if I want to use Excel or Word or something. But usually when I'm at home, I just it's funny because my wife and I'll be in bed. We'll each have our iPads. TV will be on, but nobody's watching it.
Right.
So it's ridiculous. But since I got the iPad, I just it's
convenient,
it
easy
is.
to
It's
use.
very
it's
convenient.
A nice size. Okay, cool.
So.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So, and then with my phone too,
right.
Use that just about anywhere. So,
right. Yeah.
Well, but what kind of phone you got?
iPhones. 5.
5. Okay.
Yes, I didn't go to the 6 because I could get a fantastic deal on the 5.
Gotcha.
5E maybe. I don't know. They got all these odd numbers.
Yeah.
So I went that route, and then there's that shovel.
Yeah, I think that we're right below Matthew's room. So,
okay.
You got a 10-year-old kid up there. He's gonna be banging around.
Yeah.
So the Zeebzob studio really needs to go through some upgrades.
Right. Yes. Some soundproofing.
Some soundproofing. Yeah. But yeah, Todd's got that flip phone still.
Oh yes.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Come on. Yeah, he's got to upgrade to that. But I got the Galaxy S4, and I think I didn't upgrade to the S5 because now I'm at a point where upgrading from what I have if the phone wasn't that much cooler to really justify going through that pain in the ass,
right?
Setting up a new device.
Right.
But the S6 is coming out soon, and I think I'll go to that soon.
Right. Well, my new iPhone 5, it's not much different than the 4, just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it works all the same. I
Sure.
mean, I was pretty pleased about that. You know, nothing really new, but screen's a little bit bigger, but it's a nice size. I like the size of it. It's not real big.
Yeah, this one was a little tough to get used to at first, but now I look at that thing and it doesn't seem that big anymore. Like you see those the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus.
Yes.
That's huge. And then if you look at the Galaxy Notes, those are ridiculous,
Yes.
man.
It might as well try putting an iPad in your pocket.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but I mean, I like it. I'll get the 6 when it comes out in like a few weeks, but at any rate. So, all right. And how'd you do at John's race last month?
I made the finals in basic.
Okay.
Not Basico. Basic.
Right. Basics. Yeah.
Which I was pretty proud of. I like, you know, I've been having, if you go back and look at some of my finishes lately, especially at the end of 2014, Man of the Mountain, I finished last in every class.
That's gotta be disheartening.
Well, you know, it was around the holidays. You don't have a lot of time to prep and everything.
Yeah.
And two, I was trying to run, you know, almost like every class except for, what is it, street rod or street or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that'll take its toll on you, you know.
So I made a decision that this year that I would, you know, cut back. And so I'm doing, for whatever reason, basic, street pro, and eliminator.
Okay.
Not doing very well in street pro. But you know, that's another one of those classes that, you know, you run the wheels reversed and they're lightweight.
I think that's one of the toughest classes. I mean, if you look at the times from, like, you know, a lot of those classes are real tight from like first to maybe 15th or 20th. There can be some big gaps.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys, you know, the top 3 or 4 guys, they really nail it and they're light years ahead of you.
Well,
you know?
the first January race when I ran, I had a car. It's called Blister. It's white, and it looks an awful lot like my secondhand smoke car. Same kind of shape, and I thought I did pretty good. It ran like 295 something, and it was like 6th, and I'm going like, yeah, I'm pretty pleased about that, top 10, you know.
Yeah.
So then February came around, and I know John did something to the track with the gate or something, so the times are a little bit faster. And,
Was that the February race?
Yeah, because we're coming on March here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, you're right.
yes.
Okay. So.
So,
Yeah, I'm sorry. March's race didn't happen yet.
Yeah, no.
So yeah,
So
he his gate, they changed it. And now his times are pretty much in line with what I've got.
Yeah.
My track and John's track were real close, and then they redid their gate, and his times were off.
Right.
Mine stayed the same.
Okay.
And now they reworked their gate again. I guess they said they got it smoother, even more so. But the times are back to where they used to be.
Yeah.
So if you look back in the archives like 2 years, you know, that's kind of what you're comparing to now.
Right. So anyways, in February, I sent the same car back and I re-prepped it, and it ran, even though, you know, the gate was adjusted, it ran slightly faster. But then I noticed Kinzer ran like a 291 compared to like my 294, and I'm going like, wow, I'm not even close. I'm not even in the ballpark here.
Yeah,
So
Kinzer knows his stuff.
So it's one of those. For whatever reason, I decided to try that class.
And that class. I mean, Kinzer's good in all of them, but especially that class.
Right.
That's like his wheelhouse right there.
Right. So anyway, since I started this series, you know, I will finish it off. But I don't know after nationals. You know, I'm not quite sure what I want to run. You know, and probably I would really like to run basic, eliminator, and a bearing car. I think.
Well, you said are you building a new bearing car?
No, I did build. It's called Newt.
Okay.
It's all green. I haven't sent it anywhere. I've tested it here a few times.
Okay.
It needs some speed. I just got some new wheels from Ian. They just came today.
Okay.
And
you see what Mario was laying down today?
Oh yes, it's like I might as well just leave mine in the box.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, for whatever reason, that one car he reworked the weights in it a little bit, and he picked up like 3,000.
Yes, yes.
So that's yeah.
He's one of the guys I think has got a chance. That
He does.
National champion.
His cars are really coming to life here.
Yes.
So and that's the thing too. We're going to be out there staging his cars, and not to say that has anything to do with it, but I just think being there live has such an advantage. When I went to APR, we took his cars, and I was able to, stage his cars for a win.
Right.
So, and that was the first time anybody beat Joel's car. What was it, Hot Mama?
Yes.
Yeah, because GS1 bought that one.
Right. Oh, really?
Or maybe was it Hot Mama? Yeah, I think it was. So I take pride in being the first man to stage a car to beat Hot Mama.
Cool.
Stage a car and not build one. So so that was a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
okay, so you're not sure what you're going to do after the Nationals, but are you still going to participate in the multiple leagues?
Yeah. When I first started to race, I sent one car to APR. It was, I think, their February 2014. I think was the first race, and I saw their board. I joined. Signed up on it and everything. And I thought, well, we just did a test and tune like the week before or whatever. And I thought, well, okay, let's send one out there. And I've been sending one there ever since.
Yeah, they're nice guys.
They're nice guys. I haven't had any problems.
No. And that's the thing. I don't think anybody really would. Yeah.
So I haven't. Excuse me. I haven't sent one out to Jukes yet.
Okay. They're racing today.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
It's hard. I should probably become a member on their board. I have no idea when their races are or anything.
Don't you listen to the Zeebzob podcast? I lay it out, man.
Oh, do you? I do listen. I do listen, but I can't remember. I can't remember when it was.
You got to see it written down, don't you?
But the race, like 3 different leagues. That's
tough.
That's almost a lot of cars. I mean, because the races are so close together. They're either like John's is like a week before APR. APR is a week before John's, and
you'd almost have to have 3 fleets of cars.
Yes, and that's quite a few to maintain and
yeah, because because I talk about all 3 leagues, I do try to at least send a car to all of them.
Right.
And really that's about all I've had time for lately. So now I've got a car racing at Glenn's.
Okay.
Glenn will take the car and I got the label to go right from there to John's.
Okay.
And then I'll send a separate envelope to John with a return label back here. So
Okay.
Yeah, but lately I've been having some bad luck with broken wheels again.
Okay.
Broke one going out to Glenn's. Last time he fixed it because I've always been sending spare wheels now.
Yeah.
So I sent it to Glenn. He fixed it. Sent it to John. Arrived okay. Then on the way back here, I just opened it up like 2 days ago because I knew I had to send it. I didn't even test it. I saw a broken wheel. I had to replace those again.
Yeah, at John's last race, I had a car. It's an all green Street Pro car called Two Timer, and it had a broken rear wheel on it. And of course, I didn't see any of the racing. And when I had gotten time, I went online to see what the results were, and that car wasn't listed at all.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Street Pro.
Okay.
And so I didn't have John's phone number, but I did have Joel's. So I texted Joel and I said, I was looking at the results. I noticed my car is not in the listing here. Did you guys miss it or what's going on? And he texted me back about 5 minutes later and said it had a broken wheel. Well, I thought, well, it's just a broken wheel. Did you guys fix it or whatever? And he said John actually turned a new wheel for it, but they couldn't put it on the car because that particular car has set screws in the bottom to hold the axles.
Okay.
And they didn't have a wrench
small enough
to replace it. But I thought it was pretty cool.
He turned you a new wheel? That's awesome.
He didn't send it to me or anything, but it sounded like he turned a new wheel for the car, but they couldn't do it. But it sounded pretty cool that they were able, that they wanted to work on it and fix it and get it to race.
Yeah, and that's that's the thing I really love about these guys that run these leagues is they're willing to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So anyways, lesson learned that maybe additional wheels and a wrench.
Yeah.
So
that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you know what? I had a theory about why I'm getting broken wheels now. I think after a while, I think that foam, because I cut those things pretty tight.
Right.
But I think after a while, it like stretches out.
Well, probably the weight of the car moving around in there.
Yeah,
probably,
because it's not quite as tight as it used to be. I'll probably have to cut a new box for it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on, because I never had a problem with that car before,
Okay.
and all of a sudden, the last couple of races, having some broken wheels. So I think it's getting a little bit loose in the box.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a lot, but it doesn't take a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm a little worried about. My Eliminator. I have my Eliminator Dark Mist.
Yeah.
That's got acrylic wheels on it now, and I'm like, I'm almost afraid to ship it because I had a broken wheel last month, and the way the postal service throws boxes around or whatever.
Yeah, they're not gentle, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
but yeah, so I mean, $5 a box. I'm gonna have to buy a few more, but it's so cheap for the boxes.
Yeah.
I should really just spend $30 and get a stack of them ready to go.
Or at least the foam for them.
Yeah. But I glue mine in.
Oh, okay.
So the foam, I put spray adhesive in the box. I cut out the foam, put spray it in, and then I place it in so that the foam doesn't move around in there.
Yeah.
So I probably just have to get a new box too.
Yeah. So
it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So.
Well, John actually cut me a couple for a couple of my bodies because I did a really poor job shipping them. Throw some foam in there, and I ordered the box ahead of time, and I said, John, when you get a chance, can you cut the foam? And because I don't have a router.
Okay.
And he did that, and now they fit really nice and everything. So that's cool.
I think one of the problems too is like when when my car's just sitting here, I have it sitting in the box.
Right.
So that could be kind of expanding that foam a little bit
Okay.
because like I said, I make them real tight when I cut them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as they're sitting in there, it just kind of stretches that out a little bit.
Okay.
So
that's
my theory, anyways.
Okay. I have no theory about it. Because usually when the fat wheel, as you call them, fat wheel.
The big wheel fags.
Yeah.
So people that race those, we call you big wheel fags. Actually, that's Ian's term. So.
Okay. Usually, I haven't had any problems with any broken wheels or anything like that. So I think it's these lightweight machine, lathe cut wheels that break pretty easily.
Yeah. That's the curse of these thin wheels, especially the acrylics.
I do have to say that my Street Pro 2-timer had yellow wheels on it, and when you just look at them, it was like tissue paper thickness.
Really?
I mean, they were really pretty light.
Yeah.
They're probably 0.9 grams each, but they were cut pretty thin, and I'm just kind of surprised that I didn't wreck them prepping them.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, boy, they're really banging around up there, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're having a good time.
He might be playing basketball. He's got like one of those little backboards that clip on the top of the door,
Oh, okay.
So he throws his ball at that. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe slam dunk and jump up, slam it.
I wouldn't put it past them. So plus we got those dogs too, so they got a wiener dog, a golden doodle, and a golden doodle puppy. So the puppy is pretty rambunctious too.
Okay.
So,
and chickens.
20. I think we're down to like 23 or 24 chickens.
Okay.
I got 2 cats out in the garage. Those are my mousers. I got a rabbit out there. So, and I just found out we're gonna get 3 ducks too. So
3 ducks.
3 wood ducks. Yeah, my son wants to put ducks with his chickens, so he
Okay.
promises to dig the pond. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be digging a pond in the late spring here. So,
Backhoe.
it'll be by hand. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
Go rent a backhoe, man. Play with that.
I do need
one of those little ones. That you hook on the back of your
right
on a trailer, tow it in here.
Yeah, actually, I do need to rent a trencher. Maybe I can get a deal.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, so we got some work going on there. Now, let's see your future. What about any new builds going on? Anything you got sitting in the shop, or is everything pretty much built in racing?
I do have. I don't know if you saw it. I've got it out here now. I do have one body. Well, actually, I have 2 builds going on, but I have one body that the left front corner was like broke off for whatever reason. I can't remember why. So I started doing some measuring, and I saw Joel's. He's had a Street Pro car. I think it was like orange colored with maybe a silver stripe, something like a blue stripe, something like that.
Okay.
And it was like a real angle cut on it. So I thought, okay, if he's quick with that, well, why can't I be? So
Right.
so I cut it, and then I was looking at it, and I didn't really, it was just a straight angled cut. So then I had a guy at work put it on the bandsaw. We turned it at 45-degree angle, and
Okay.
we recut that angle again. So now it's got a real, if you look at it from the top, it kind of floats flat, and then a nice 45-degree to the edge. And I'm still trying to decide that it could be a street stock, with a 45-degree wheel on the front, or it could
Right.
be a Street Pro. I don't know.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
And then the other thing I've got going on is a 2-ounce car for nationals.
Oh.
It's a body that John drilled for me probably last December. It was going to be a street stock, but I decided I'm going to make it a Street Pro. It's got
Gotcha.
wood fenders on it rather than the plastic G fenders on it.
Yeah.
So it's not real heavy. It's not real light. But I think once I put the wheels and axles on it, and a little bit of weight, it's going to be right in there at 2 ounces. So.
Cool. Yeah, I was telling you that I had a build going on.
Yes, but you didn't elaborate on what you're doing.
Well, no, not that one. I started building a body this week,
Okay.
and I always start with like just planks of poplar, and I run through my table saw.
Oh, yes, I heard
Yeah.
part of this story.
So they start out with like 3-foot lengths
Okay.
of poplar.
Yes.
They're like 2.5 inches wide or something.
Yes.
So I rip them down to 1 3/4 inches, and then I chop them up into 7-inch planks. And so I start laying it out,
Uh-huh.
and the green on this one I'm working on it's a little bit cocked, and I draw the lines for where the axles are going to go, and I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, this thing just doesn't look square. So I turn the square around to the other side, and sure enough, it's not. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, what's going on with my table saw? When I ripped it, I must have screwed it up,
Right,
because
right.
like everyone was like
Yes,
that.
yes.
I'm like, what is going on here? It's just, I'm looking at this thing, and it's just like an optical illusion, and it was driving me nuts. So finally, I got a different square. Sure enough, my square must have dropped on the floor or something. I just threw that one away.
So,
It was a machinist square,
Oh,
too.
so it slides on the...
No, it was fixed.
It's fixed.
Yeah.
Fixed. Okay.
So, after I looked
Right.
at that, and sure enough, the square is out of square.
Right.
I was able to, it was
Yes,
movable.
yes,
So
yes.
that one's shot.
Yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed with that, but
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on here? And
Yeah.
my eyes are just bugging out or what? But sure enough, nothing's lining up. I'm like, this car's not going
Yes.
to go anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I actually threw a couple of blanks away. I had to retrieve them out of
Yes.
the trash after I realized it's not the blanks. It was my square.
Yeah.
So that went in the garbage instead.
Well, yeah, I met Fumbles today for the first time.
Yeah, Tony.
And he has got some awesome cars he's built.
Yeah, he built me a body.
Yes, they're lightweight and they're pretty impressive. It's you talk about you building them. He's got some awesome cars.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is one of Fumble's bodies here. It's 8.9 grams, and it's got like no side-to-side flex.
Yes.
So he
that's
said,
brilliant.
he said he wanted to build a body because he appreciates that I let him come out to the house here. He's out last week for a UFC fight and stuff like that,
Right.
and so he texted me this morning. He's like, hey, give me a call when you got a chance. And I was at a wrestling tournament.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, it's kind of loud here. What's going on? He's like, well, I want to build a body for you for when I come over today. I'm like, okay. So I just gave him the specs of what I wanted, and sure enough, here it is. I'm like, he got it done that fast.
Yes, and I don't know how
this would take me 2 weeks to do.
I'm not sure I could build that.
No, I definitely could. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to building this. I'll build this into a basics,
Okay.
and then see what it does. But yeah, I'm real excited about this.
Yes.
So it's really kind of an interesting design. It's very stiff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Looks like you'll have to cover it with vinyl or something on the one side.
Yeah, and I was talking to a buddy of mine. His kid goes to the same school as my son. They wrestle together.
Right.
And I had lunch with him today, and he's a sign painter.
Okay.
But he does a lot of vinyl stuff. And I said, hey, you got a plotter at home, right? He said, yeah. I said, what do you do with all your scraps? He goes, I just toss them. I said, stop doing that. Give them to me. I got a use for them. So I'm going to try some vinyl too.
Cool.
And he was telling me about some of the really cool stuff that he's got.
And so, some of the cars I covered, I'm using the model airplane trim sheets.
Sure.
And I'm not sure. The material's real sticky and it works pretty good. but I don't think it's quite thick enough, because after you put it in a box and ship it, and I think maybe because the foam presses down on it, it tends to sag between the ribs or whatever.
Gotcha.
And, I don't know if that's messing with the airflow or whatever, but maybe I need to look at some sign painter.
Yeah. So I'm going to get some scraps. Yeah.
I'm looking for like purple. What do you got?
Yeah. I'm going to get some scraps on the recommendation of Joel, actually. He mentioned that on one of the posts on the board.
Okay.
So I'm going to try it out, see how it works, and then, I'm sure I'll
Cool.
have some here you can try too.
Cool.
So,
cool.
All right. I think we can wrap this up. I know my wife's been calling me. She's got something to tell me, I think. But
okay.
Whatever.
All right.
So, Mr. B, this is fun.
Yes.
People get to know you finally.
Yeah.
The James Bond guy that you are. You got that avatar.
That came from the APR.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure who makes the avatars.
Probably Mood Swing.
And how it ended up like that, but it's a pretty cool avatar, and I like it. So.
Yeah, it was funny because after we were here racing that one time, we had the cameras on, and
right.
BSB messaged me. He says,
Yes.
"Hey, is that Mr. B?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Not what I expected." He's expecting a little more of a James Bond guy. So that was kind of funny.
BSB, we email and talk every once in a while, and after earlier this week when I made my post, he sent me a message that he says we're going to change your racing name to Mr. Excitable.
Yeah.
And then even the next morning, he sent me a little message through the board. He says, "Have you cooled down and relaxed yet?"
Yeah, because you're normally a pretty calm guy, but you were fired up. I love it.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
But BSB, he's been pretty helpful. When I first started, I ran in an eliminator class, and I noticed my car wiggled all over the place. And,
sure.
I asked if anybody else really noticed that, if that's what I'm seeing in the film, and he texted me or sent me a message and said, yeah, and so we've been going back and forth and talking, and he's given me a lot of help. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's one guy that'll tell you that early on, he may have had a little more of a chip on his shoulder. He says he's trying to mellow out and be a little more approachable, I guess. Yeah. But I've never had a problem with him. He's a good guy. So I got to get him on the podcast. Pretty soon. We got to hear that. We got to hear that Pennsylvania Dutch accent. Did you watch those videos he posted?
Yes.
On Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yes.
I almost thought that was fake at first.
Yes, but apparently it's not. I mean,
he told me his in-laws sound just like those guys. I'm
really?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
He must go to the house or the house. Not a house. It's a house.
House.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be able to listen to that for too long without going nuts.
No.
And maybe people say the same thing about me. I don't
know.
All right, Steve.
All right.
So it's been a fun time getting to know you here for the Zeebzob podcast. I am Zeebzob signing off for me and Mr. B. Thanks a lot, Steve.
You bet.